Hey, welcome inside Zipity's garage. In today's episode, we're taking a ride out to Corvettes at Carlisle weekend, so stick around. Hey, thanks for pushing that play button. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jeff Zipity Doodah, and this YouTube channel is dedicated to the fun and games associated with being an automotive enthusiast. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and please smash that like button to help with the YouTube algorithms. So, like I said in that quick introduction, we're headed out to Corvettes at Carlisle weekend 2022. And I know right now we live in a TikTok world where everything's about 10-second video clips. I'm going to be right up front with you. This is not a 10-second video clip. It's a 3-day event, and I have coverage from all 3 days. And I'm going to piece together maybe 1 or 2 videos. I'll put it in the comments here, or in the video here below, how many videos I'm actually going to upload from this event. So with that said, sit back, pop me up on your big screen, crack a frosty beverage, enjoy. If you weren't able to attend the show, this is me bringing Corvettes at Carlisle into your living room and onto your computer screen. So, like I said, we cover 3 days of events. It was the largest fun field ever for Corvettes at Carlisle. So they broke an attendance record. There were a lot of great displays out there. The Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation was out there in force. So thank you to everyone from Carlisle Events that made this event possible, from Bill Miller, Lance Miller, Jody Morrison, and their entire team for putting this event together. So, and like I said, walking the fairgrounds was a really lot of fun. A lot of subscribers and other YouTubers were there, said hello. I'm still blown away by people coming up and asking to take selfies and photographs with me. That really blows my mind and really is a lot of fun. I don't consider myself an influencer or a YouTuber. I'm just a car guy that brings a camera to the car show with me so I can bring you along. So thank you to everybody that said hello. If you do see me out and about, please do say hi. I'd love to take a photograph with you or whatever. So with that said, guys, thanks to everybody that was out there and said hello, all the fans of the channel. We were out promoting the Atlantic Corvette Caravan, which you see information, we have clings and information on the event. Met a lot of dignitaries, got a lot of signatures. I actually won a Celebrity Choice Award this year for the C5, so that was really cool. So with that said, thanks to everybody that came out and said hello. So without any further ado, let's get to Carlisle. So it is early on Friday morning, and I'm out here at the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation tent. That's what this big white topped tent with the yellow sides is all about. And you can see they got the Chip Miller bag here for the Amyloidosis Foundation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of cruise around here this morning, and got here real early to see what kind of access I can get to some of the different displays and so forth. We're going to get to the Callaways, we're going to get to the C5Rs, C6, C7Rs, the Corvette race cars that are here, and then obviously the Corvette Z06. So stick around, we're going to walk around the fairgrounds this morning. So my first stop, imagine that, Ciocca. I've never heard of these guys, so obviously if you've watched the channel before, you know that I've got a real nice relationship with the folks from Ciocca in Atlantic City, the world's largest Corvette dealer. And they've got a really cool display they do every year, and they'll be giving away posters. I'll be sure to capture some of that up here later today, but they have the poster this year. I'll start over there, I guess. And the car that is on the poster is this hypersonic gray coupe. And what's unique about this is, let me zoom in on the poster here. They are doing a limited production run of a Callaway Ciocca Edition, 25 cars, and there is additional power added to this car, unlike the 35th anniversary Callaway vehicle. So they've redone the intake on this and different throttle body and so forth, so there is a boost in horsepower. No twin turbos or superchargers just yet, but not on this particular car. So it's a 25 car run. You can get it in a coupe or convertible, 3 different color options with black, hypersonic gray, and ceramic matrix. You have to order it aero delete because Callaway adds all the aerodynamics to it. And Corvette Blogger did a recent post on all the specifics about this car, but it includes all the real carbon fiber aero on the front, sides, and on the rear wing as well. Then this beautiful gold Callaway specific wheel. And like I said, there's ghost insignia here with Callaway, and then the Ciocca Edition down here on the rockers. And the big really cool thing about this is the center exhaust. So think like the C8 Z06. They've rerouted the exhaust to come out the back, the center here, with this custom carbon fiber rear diffuser, similar to the 35th anniversary car that we covered down in Atlantic City. But this is the Ciocca Edition. And with that, like I said, comes a boost in power, and they do have the window sticker here. Still, like I said, it's not even 7 a.m. and the Callaway Edition or Ciocca Edition is $43,845 on top of the price of your vehicle. So really, it's the price for exclusivity, guys. So that's, you know, some people say, oh, it's a waste of money. Other people say, oh, it's gonna put me in an exclusive company with that particular car. So that's making its debut here this weekend. All right, I'm back over at Ciocca, and you can see I got the Callaway Ciocca Edition and one Mr. Dave Salvatore here. Good morning, Dave. Say hi. There you go. So Dave is going to be nice enough to give this thing a start and then give it a little bit of a goose to listen to that new exhaust system that's on this Ciocca Callaway Edition. So when you're ready, Dave, go for it. That takes up. You want to get a crowd to come over to a car, just start it up and let the exhaust run. Look at all the folks that just came over to check this thing out. So thank you, Dave. And now we're going to take a look at the inside. And what's really cool about this one, look at that. That's one Mr. Reeves Callaway, who has autographed the door sill of this car. And if you order one of these, he also autographed 25 of these new posters for this year. So they're limited production on this car to 25. And all 25 are going to get an autograph poster from Reeves Callaway. Contact Dave Salvatore if you're interested in this. Available as a coupe, convertible, hypersonic gray, ceramic matrix, or black. You can get any trim level, or is it all 3LT? Any trim level, you just have to order an Aero Delete so that then Callaway can add their arrow to the car. So very cool. Thanks.
25 of them, and there's a lot of interest involved, so move quick.
Yeah, don't hesitate, guys. So thank you, Dave.
You got it.
All right, and we'll see you again on an upcoming episode of Zipity's Garage. Andrew, Cars from Hoff, is the used car manager here at Ciocca. He's been posting this thing left and right. So it is a wrapped C8 convertible, and it's got like a real dark bronze wheel on it with the yellow caliper, and it's got a natural dipped interior. I believe it's dipped, a natural dipped interior. Yeah, it's dipped because you can see the whole color goes across the dash. But they had this done at Car Effects in, I believe they're in Mantua, New Jersey, and they do a lot of the athletes in and around Philadelphia. But this car looks really good in he calls it money green. And we'll take a walk underneath the tent, because everything's wide open here, and like I said, it's still early in the morning. The dew is still on some of the cars. Another big deal for Ciocca, the Toys for Tots Caravan down the Atlantic City Expressway. The new date is September 24th, and you can see just some of the photographs and images from the events in the past. Really cool event. If you're anywhere around Southern New Jersey, Philadelphia, highly recommend attending that event. So under the tent, they've got a couple really cool colors. You've got the Rapid Blue. Hopefully it comes through, because like I said, we don't have any sunlight here yet this morning. But it's a Rapid Blue car, and it's got the cool sky gray interior. New for this, plus obviously some pre-owns. They've got two C8Rs. They've got the Accelerate Yellow as a convertible here, and then they also have the Hypersonic Gray, and this is also a convertible. So two C8R editions available. So these are both for sale, obviously pre-owned, because we're now in the 2023 model year, and these were sold out real early on. But you've got both color combinations and both as convertibles. New for 23 is that 70th anniversary pearl white. Here's a convertible done, and this does have the stripe on it. You can see the stripe running down the center of the car. Black Z51 wing on it, and really looks real nice. I do like this color. They went with the body colored nacelles on this one, 70th anniversary badging, as well as that specific wheel. Really nice car. Well done, Chevrolet. And then also for the 70th anniversary, carbon flash metallic. This is the carbon flash car. So any of your spoilers on the C8s, C7s are done up in that metallic carbon flash. They're doing that on the entire car. So here's that 70th anniversary, and I believe it was 2012 on the Centennial Edition on the C6 was also painted carbon flash. So to the naked eye, it kind of looks black until you get up on it and see all the pearl that's in the car, the metallic. Really, really nice. And this one, 3LT coupe for, looks like $90,000 on that carbon flash metallic. Then they also have an Amplify orange under the tent here, convertible, black nacelles, and let's see, Elkhart there. So tinted windows, natural and two-tone interior here. Elkhart Lake convertible, 2023, with the 70th anniversary insignia on the window there. Hopefully you can see that. And they went with body side or body colored nacelles on this car. And pan back out, torch red, natural. And they have another Accelerate yellow out here as well. So if you've never been out to Corvettes at Carlisle, I highly recommend it. I mean, this is a bucket list type of an event. Ran into somebody yesterday from Norway. They're coming from all over the world to be here at Corvettes at Carlisle. Like I said, it's the world's largest Corvette show. And don't think that it's all about the new car. Yes, there's plenty to see and do on the new C8 Corvette, especially with the Z06. And General Motors is here to help support that from Taj and his entire engineering team. Maybe not the entire team, but a good portion of his engineering team is here. But it's also about the history of the Corvette. And here, we're under one of the pavilions, Pavilion A and B. These are all for sale. This is a for sale section. So you've got every generation represented under here, including the solid axle cars from the C1 era, and then more late model stuff with the C5s. But just take, and there's plenty of dealers here. There's I probably walked past 2 or 3 different used car dealers that specialize in the used market. So here's a C4 ZR1, guys. Beautiful car, 17,000 miles, and looks like he's asking $35,500 on this car. And new, you know, you talk about the upcharges and so forth. New, this car was just under $32,000. The ZR1 option was $27,000 for a total sticker of $60,000. And even back then in the early 90s, dealerships were marking this up close to $100,000, you know, to a total of about $100,000. So almost adding another vehicle, you know, with almost a $40,000 upcharge, which is more than the sticker price of the vehicle. So you think about what folks are doing with the C8 Z06. It's happened before in the Corvette world. But again, 96 Collector's Edition convertible. I'm not going to go through every car that's here, but this one seems to be a resto mod with updated brakes, rotors, wheels, and tires on a mid-year. Convertible automatic, so a really cool cruiser. Side pipes, 396 turbojet on the badging on this car. 65 resto mod. I don't see any pricing listed on it, but really a nice looking car. This would be a great cruiser. Then you've got, you know, this is obviously a C1, but most people refer, you know, a lot of folks think that this C1's ended after this white and red interior car, but that is not the case. So this is a 54 frame off restoration. Asking price is $77,500, and this again is a 6-cylinder Corvette. They did that 6-cylinder in 2 years, the first 2 model years. The way you can tell, the 55 has the same body style, but the V in Chevrolet here is a capital V for the V8. That's how you determine that it's a 55 Corvette. It was the first year for the V8. But again, cool C3, C6 Z06. And like I said, every generation's represented. I see a C8, so we'll go up and take a closer look at that one. Some really, really cool cars. Here's another resto mod, 62 resto mod. $130,000 is the asking on this particular one. 62, mentioned this in the past. My father had a 62. It's the only year with those gills in the cove. So here's an Elkhart Lake Blue. Looks custom wheel on it. And 92.9, and it's a 1LT car, 1LT Z51, and approximately 125 miles. Also comes with the stock wheels for $92,000. So again, just a really cool representation of some of the cars that are under here. This one I've seen in the past. Just an unbelievable, wild build on this thing. 67 Pro Street, GM original body, lots of updates on the vehicle, asking $98,000. You can drive it anywhere, no issues. You can drive it anywhere except past a gas station, I would imagine. But really cool. Look at the, orange C3s. So again, just spinning around and back out over underneath outside of the pavilion. Again, like I said, a couple different dealers. So got a dealer over here with 3 or 4 mid-years underneath. There's a Cadillac XLR over there, Pontiac Solstice. So it's just not about necessarily Corvettes. So take a walk out past this dealership. I believe they're in Ohio. I'll get the name on camera, but I see a 57 Aztec Gold car, a Fuelie. There was another 62 under here as well. So Mershon, yes, they're in Springfield, Ohio, the world of cars. So it's Mershons.com is this representation here that you see out in front of me. So looks to be an 05. 05, I believe, is the only year they offer the chiclet that is on the car is what's referred to. It's a GM little stamp, and General Motors was trying to pull in all of their cars under one umbrella, so every General Motors vehicle had that chiclet installed on it. Most owners of the C6 era removed it as soon as they got it home. So single headlight, 57, another 62 with the side gills. This is the car my father had. Honduras Maroon is the name of the color, and this one's got, both of these actually have the factory hardtop. 62 convertible. Moving into the mid-years. Pretty green one, 427 with the big block hood on it. Really looks nice. It's tough to see pricing. 85,000 miles on it. Doesn't have pricing listed on the window, but here's that Aztec Gold that I talked about. Hardtop, factory hardtop on this car. Really pretty car. And then a red one right next to it. And look at the old, look at this red versus that red in the background. This one's more like a tomato red. Yellow, and here's that red that it was in the background. Again, 62 hardtop. You can see the different shades of red. And then this, can't tell if it's, I guess it's silver. I thought maybe it was it's not silver green, which is a unique color for this vintage, but it is a silver car. And you got a C5 Z06. This is an 01. You can tell it's an 01 because it just has the Z06 badge, not the 405. So this particular car is the 385 horsepower car. Really good deal to get into a C5. Really cool green chrome bumper car. And then again, just a really cool representation. And all of these cars I just showed you, like I said, are from Mershons in Springfield, Ohio. Check them out. Well, I've made it over to Building T, and you can see the garage door is just going up. We're the first ones walking in here this morning, and what's really cool is the Pratt & Miller factory race cars are here on display. And let me tell you, this is a really cool gathering. I don't know that this has ever been done before, to have all of these race cars here in one spot. Even Lance Miller, one of the co-owners of Carlisle Events, was geeking out on these cars. And what I love about them is they're still dirty. Look at this. This is an as-race condition. The C7R, chassis number 004. Owner is Pierce Marshall. There's more information on the event guide. So if you actually go to the event guide at Corvette Carlisle Events and download the event guide, you can get more information on each one of these cars. But I'll try and capture some of it a little bit more with regards to some of the history on each one of these cars. You can see up top, this was driven by Oliver Gavin, Tommy Milner, and Marcel Fessler. And this has got the American flag across the top. Really, really cool. And these are now all in private hands. That's what's really cool. These are not owned by Pratt & Miller. These are not General Motors owned. These are individually owned cars. So here's a C6R, chassis number 5. Same owner, Pierce Marshall. And you can see this has got the 60th anniversary logo on it. So again, a lot of GM marketing goes into these vehicles as well because they're out on the racetrack. And you can see there's the Jake skull, which kind of debuted in the C6 era. Don't think it was really out on the C5s, but it made its debut on the C6. You can see the Jake up top there. Sort of became the Corvette racing mascot. All the different sponsors, Michelin, you know, the BBS and so forth, Flex Fuel. Now these are two cars that I'm going to geek out on, number 50 and 53, C5R generation, and this is what my car, the commemorative edition, was made to commemorate, and that's where the paint scheme came from. The red, white, the Le Mans blue with the white and red striping on it, and this is chassis number 009, owned by George Crass, and they just brought this car in last night around 11 p.m. I'm sure they woke up some of the folks in the campground around the fairgrounds when this thing started up, but you can see this is, you know, just different interiors as the generations went on. This was more of a manual gearbox as opposed to the more automated stuff in the C6 and C7Rs. And again, you can see some of the information here on chassis number 9, Drivers' Championship in 03, and then 03 and 04 won the Manufacturers' Cup Championship. And that's what my car commemorates, the back-to-back wins of that Manufacturers' Championship. And this particular one, Ron Fellows, Frank Freon, Johnny O'Connell, Boris Sett, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Some of the drivers on these cars. And you can see the chassis was done up in two different paint schemes. So it's the same chassis, car 53, car 53, and then car 3. When they raced in Le Mans, they added the 5 in front of the 3. So most people know Corvette racing is 3 and 4, but when they ran over in Le Mans, it was 63 and 64. And you can see there is the badging from Le Mans. Pretty cool car. And then we're going to spin back around because you've got the other blue car here, number 50. Again, there's that interior with the more manual gearbox. Andy Pilgrim, Kelly Collins, and Oliver Gavin were drivers on this particular car. And this is chassis 008. George Crass is the owner. So again, really cool history when it comes to Corvette racing. And this is chassis number 8. You can see, again, the back-to-back Drivers' Championships in 03 and 04. And the drivers, Oliver Gavin, Andy Pilgrim, Kelly Collins, and Olivier Beretta. And I have the signatures of those drivers on my fuel rail covers. Now this car we've captured a number of times in the past. If you want to go back to my Amelia Island video from last year, this is the number 3 car in the Lance Miller family collection. C5R, chassis 004, but you can see who the drivers of this particular car. Kelly Collins, Dale Sr., Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Andy Pilgrim. A little bit of the history on this car. This is the last car that Dale Earnhardt Sr. finished a race in. Not to be too morbid, but we know what happens at Daytona. About 2 weeks after this car was ran at the 24 Hours of Daytona, the Daytona 500, is when we lost Dale Earnhardt Sr. So this car was the last one that Dale Sr. finished a race in. And I'm going to go inside as well. When this car was down at Amelia Island a number of years ago, see a lot of the signatures on the dashboard. And let's see if I can get some lighting in here for you guys. You can see you've got Doug Feehan on there, but up in the top right there, that says Dale Jr. So Dale Jr. actually autographed this car. Pretty cool piece of Corvette history with the yellow number 3 car. I'm going to spin back around. Another C5R is here. So this is one of the earlier ones with the white and yellow color motif. They did a black and silver C5R, but this one is chassis number 1 from 1999. So this car was built by Pratt & Miller as the first official factory-backed racing since 1956. So this must have been the first one. Like I said, they did a black and silver C5R. I'll see if I can drop a photograph of it down here. But really cool piece of history. To have all of these cars here under one roof is pretty spectacular. Brad Briscoe is the owner of C5R 001. Really, really cool piece of history. And this is kind of the things you're going to see at Corvettes at Carlisle, because later today, Dan Binks is going to be down here doing question and answers and autographs and so forth. So my plan is to get down here and meet Dan and get him to sign my fuel rail covers, as well as a couple other pieces of Corvette memorabilia. So this is just one of the cool displays here at Corvettes at Carlisle. So guess where I've made it over to? Made it over to the GM engineering tent, and you can see they've got plenty of Corvettes and plenty of Z06s on display. I'll head over to the Z06 display, but they're over there cleaning it up. They're actually running a vacuum cleaner right now, so don't want to catch that audio. So with that said, this is some of the stuff that you will see at Corvettes at Carlisle. Z06 with all the different color combinations, Elkhart Lake with a cool sky gray, and you can see all the different attributes on this car. You guys, I don't think a lot of people watch my channel for breaking news, because I don't really do breaking news per se, but it's just cool to capture some of this stuff. So, you know, Corvette Blogger, Corvette Today podcast, those are the guys that you want to watch for the breaking news on this type of stuff. But it's just really cool to see all of these cars represented here, and just the way that GM has optioned these things out on some of the different packages and so forth. But you can see the Z07. This has got the big dive planes up front. You got massive carbon ceramic rotor on the front. And this is the 70th anniversary, done up in the pearl white with all the carbon on the exterior. And again, this is, I guess, in that specific 70th anniversary interior, which is the black, red, and white, or black and white, I'm sorry, or black and gray, I believe they're calling it, with the red seat belts. This has got the high wing on it. Really, really cool. And then that center mounted exhaust, which just sounds so gnarly, is a great way to describe it. Here's another 70th anniversary done up in the carbon flash. This particular one is a standard Stingray. And then here is an Amplify Z06, Amplify orange Z06 with the black wheel. Really, really nice, done up with the ceramic brakes again on this particular one. And look at the color of that brake caliper. It's a, I don't know if it's going to come through on camera, but a much more bronzy color than what the regular orange would be. And I don't care if it comes through in audio, but I'm walking past the fan because it feels really good. Not going to complain about the heat, but it is warm today, and it's only about 7 a.m. It's just going to get warmer, guys, but I love it. Hypersonic gray. This is a convertible. Carbon flash nacelles, and it's got the red interior. Really, really nice combination. You know, kind of reminds me of my C7. And then another Z06, I believe silver flare we're looking at, with the silver wheel. And this is, again, has the red interior, the lower wing on the back of this particular one. And what's neat is this is body colored. The top half is body colored. The bottom half is done up in carbon flash. Pretty cool wing. And again, this has got a red interior. The adrenaline red dipped on the silver car looks really striking. Nice, nice combination. Spin back around, red mist, metallic with the carbon fiber wheel, and the Z07 package on this particular car. Looks really, really nice. So such a cool name in the Corvette world is Caravaggio Corvettes up out of Canada, and they've got a special car here on display under the tent here in Carlisle. So I'm going to introduce you to Daniel, and he's going to kind of talk us through the car a little bit. So Daniel, hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So what can you tell me about this beautiful C8 that you have here on display?
So what we did was we ordered a factory silver C8 Corvette, and once it arrived from the dealer, we picked it up, brought it to our shop right away, stripped it down, body off, interior off, totally painted the car. We did all the carbon work on the car, and all the carbon is tinted in a blue color with the stripes of the car on the side skirts.
Wow.
We did the Brembo big brake kit, and those are custom wheels for the car. They're 20 by 21s. All
beautiful.
The black accent pieces were painted in a blue America.
We'll go ask him. We'll be right there.
Very nice, very nice. Can we open it up, take a look inside?
Absolutely.
Wow. So you talk about just, you know, okay guys, back in the golf cart, and look who I ran into. Cars and Crosby, Morgan Crosby from up in Canada. So, you know, not gonna give any Canadian puns or anything like that. But what do you think of Corvettes at Carlisle so far?
I'm like a pig in the mud here. I love it, and it's to me one of the coolest places to go because you've got every single walk of life for Corvettes in one specific area. And you know, I've been here since 6 in the morning, and I feel like I haven't even touched.
Yeah, right.
This is like an iceberg of information. You know, there's so much stuff that you can see, and people that are the same walk of life and the same kind of mindset, and everyone wants to just share that common interest. So to me, I just feel so welcomed and humbled that I'm in a place that has all this together.
Yeah, and people say, oh, I don't like crowds. I said, yeah, but these crowds are different because we all have the like interest.
Yeah.
You know, they're all car people,
Totally.
which is awesome. So
It really is amazing, and you get to learn a lot of stuff as well. There's things that I've learned here throughout the couple of years that I've been to this specific show that I can take back and use. So, you know, consider it, if you wanted to justify the trip, depending on where you live, the amount of information that you're going to learn. And if you're going to do some accessories or modifications to your Corvette, you can get it done here as well, which is really great. I did my exhaust last year, for example.
yeah, like I said, it's all here. So with that said, we're going to jump in the golf cart and kind of, you know, do maybe a little walk and talk video or walk and ride video a little bit.
A little live commentary.
Yes,
as
exactly.
We go.
So just got to be careful we don't run anybody over. After you, sir.
Thank you.
So, and like we were chatting, you know, the NCRS is here. That's over in that large building over there. We'll be sure to capture some content from that location. But just, you know, kind of take in some of the flavor. And what we're passing through here now is what's referred to as the fun field. So this is all, I'm trying to think, this is reserved parking. You can see the signs that are kind of in the back here. Those are reserved parking for folks. And we're after lunch, after 2 o'clock, so some people are headed back to their hotels. Commemorative Edition Z06, we caught earlier. And then there is a car up by gate 1 that I wanted to go capture. A buddy of mine sent me a text, we got to go check it out. But I love it. Look, you know, look at the tent. Beachcombers Corvette Club. I think they're from Delaware or Virginia Beach, Virginia. So that's a little further than Delaware. So they've got their club tent set up. You know, and later tonight on Friday night, Adams Polishes right there, you know, the car wax and so forth. He hosts a pizza party. So I think it's a couple bucks to get in. You can go hang out with Adams and, you know, just hang out with other like-minded folks.
They're out of Colorado, right? Is that where
Yes,
they're
I
based
believe,
out of?
and they're now the official polish for Corvette. You know, so he started selling that stuff out of the back of his car, out of the back of an SUV.
It's pretty wild.
So again, now this is the fun field where it's all general parking, and the earlier you get here, the better parking that you get.
Yeah, early bird gets a worm.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. And then right up front as you come in gate 3 is what's referred to is the solid axle club. So these are all the 53 all the way up to 62. You know, figuring 63 is when the independent rear suspension came out. So that's why they refer to them as a solid axle club. And just some really, really cool cars here.
That's a pretty cool C8. Nice Zeus bronze finish.
So which direction you want to head?
Oh, I don't mind. I'm good any way.
All right.
Where's this car that you were trying to find?
That's what I was just looking for. You said it was up by gate 3, and I didn't see it there, but we'll continue to cruise.
It's really tough to try to pick one specific car.
Here, like this, Aztec Gold. That's a unique one.
One of 15.
15 colors, painted that color in 1998. So
That's pretty cool.
Again,
I didn't know that.
unique stuff. They were the story goes that color was going to be used in 2003 as the anniversary color for 50th year. They couldn't get the body panels to match, so they painted 15 of them and sold them, but as a 1998 model year. But they only built 15 of them. And they're pretty unique.
And then they ended up doing what, 50th anniversary
in
red?
the red, yes. Yeah.
What an original name that was.
Right, yes. And here's our Carlisle Blues. We captured this a little bit earlier.
They get free parking up front?
They get free admission into the weekend, and they get parking in the front row. So pretty darn cool. And like I said, you can go up the hill. I think we're going to go over here to the Callaway. This is the 40th anniversary of Corvettes at Carlisle, but it's also the 35th anniversary of the relationship between Callaway and Corvette. In fact, here's a Callaway done up as a C6, and this is the 60th anniversary of this. 60th. That's pretty slick. That is pretty cool. I don't know, what do you think? You want to jump out and just go around and look at some of these cars? I'm going to park the golf cart here. And these couple cars here are owned by Lance Miller.
Right beside it.
Yep, very cool. So yeah, there's not going to hit your car, Lance. Don't worry. This is Lance Miller's Callaway car you see in front here, and this was done as a kind of like Callaway's reintroduction into the C6 generation. So it was called the C3. They called it the Supernatural, and it was done with Corvette, Callaway, and Carlisle. So this car made a media presence traveled across the entire United States when the C6 debuted. And it's naturally aspirated, big wheels or big brakes on it, so it's made for the road course. But it's an absolutely cool car.
Yeah, that is a cool car. Nice adrenaline. What'd they call that red back then?
In this particular generation, I believe that was still called Torch Red.
Really?
Yes. Oh, well, the red interior?
Yeah.
I believe it may have been Adrenaline Red. It's the same as what it is now.
See, that's the thing with me being a young gun. I don't know any of the older names of the stuff. Like that Aztec Gold, that was really insightful. I love that kind of stuff.
Such a cool, unique thing. And then, again, here's another Callaway car. This is done up with the Aero package. And this was a Corvette Challenge car driven by Boris Said. And this is in the Miller family garage as well. And what was funny is when this thing would run, it kept, I won't say kept breaking down, but it had issues because Callaway, it needs air. It's a turbo car. So there were so many issues trying to get the air, and it kept bouncing off the mufflers and wasn't allowing the exhaust to go.
No way.
So that's where they had some issues with it as a race car, but it's an absolutely cool vehicle.
Very cool.
So here's the I'm trying to think, B2K or BK2 option. This was an RPO, there it is, RPO B2K. You could order this RPO from your Chevrolet dealership, and they would twin turbo a C4 Corvette. Reese Callaway's signature is on the throttle body here on this one. So really cool from the C4 generation. You can tell from the hood scoops that were done up on that particular car. Here's again one with the Aero package that's done up on it. So you could opt for the body kit to go with this particular package. It's an 89 convertible with the body kit on it as well. Really nice representation here of what's on the Callaway display. So I'm going to keep cruising past them here so you can just take it all in. Callaway Speedster, you don't see this too often, with the cropped windshield. Look at that, you know, just completely open. This is the Speedster. Look at that interior. These things are amazing looking. The ZR1 that was done up with the Callaway package. So again, that's pretty darn unique. I don't know how many of these they actually made. Pretty cool colors.
But either one, but those are the seats.
Really cool. We have the twin cars on the display here. And I'm going to walk around over here, check out some of these other C4s. But look at the rear ends of these things. Another ZR1, another ZR1. You can see what they did on the interior of these things. Really did these things up nice.
Oh, really? Yeah. The guy bought that.
Look at the blue one. You know, what was neat is you could believe through the entire C4 generation, you could order this as an option package. So, and I'm looking here, this is the Supernatural Aero Body CR1 ZR1, and one of 11 that were produced by Callaway. So there you go, 490 horsepower on this thing back in 1990. So think about that for a second. And then here we go, guys. You know, you look at this thing, look at the body lines of this. What generation do you think this car is? I'm gonna let you guess, let you guess. It's a C5, guys. So look at the smooth body lines of what they call the C12 coupe. Very, very sleek, almost kind of looking like what the C6 ends up looking like with the, you know, the headlights and so forth. But you can tell, look at the side marker lights are from the C5. The mirrors aren't really a dead giveaway because they're the same mirrors in the C6. It's just a really, really cool and unique car. Got an opportunity to drive one of these once, and let me tell you, it's an experience. They're double D exhaust. That's what you're also seeing on that new Callaway and Ciocca Corvette for the 35th anniversary of Callaway and their relationship with Corvette. Move over to a C6. Really, really nice car. Excuse me. And then we've seen this car on the channel before. This is the 757 Aero Wagon, one of my favorite cars ever made. And there's our friend the owner. How are you?
Fantastic.
Excellent, excellent. So he's from Corvette Club of Allentown. So we've seen this car up at his car shows in the past. And Morgan's doing his video, so I don't want to talk over him.
If you look at the majority of these vehicles, they've got
Aero Wagon. You know, and here's your rear window. Again, double D, Corvette wagon. I love it. I love it. So you can, you know, just the body lines of the shooting brake body style, I really, really like. And then here is your Callaway in the C8 version. So again, 35th anniversary. New one has the double D exhaust on it. All carbon fiber back here. And this is lost on most people because this is a center exit exhaust on a Stingray. They don't do that. So normally your exhaust is over here on the edge. They rerouted it through the middle of the car. All the extra aero. You see the Callaway insignia on the bottom. Really, really well done on this particular. And again, B2K PCY is the option code when you order this from your local Chevrolet dealership, as if they're a Callaway dealership, that is. So that's kind of a walk around some of the Callaway cars here. Oh, there's a C7 that we didn't cover. So we got a C7 in one of the oranges. Lots of carbon fiber on the bottom. An absolutely beautiful car on what Callaway has done. But this just shows you the 35 years that Callaway has partnered with Chevrolet from 1987 to 2022, and they're celebrating that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It just still blows me away when fans stop and say hello. So if you do see me, please say hi. I think it's really cool interacting with the viewers and so forth, because I'm still blown away you know, when people come up and say hello. So check out Callaway Cars for more information, callawayscars.com, and you can see, again, 40th anniversary of Corvettes of Carlisle, 35th anniversary for Callaway Cars. What I'm going to capture right now is what they've been doing since 2003. Every year they would do a 50th anniversary display. So here we've got the 72 Corvettes. So 50th anniversary of the 1972 Corvette. Well, I see a friend of mine smiling. Keith Cornett, and he's official. He's got the media badge on.
What do you gotta do to get a golf cart around this place, huh?
It's all in who you know.
Styling,
it's all
I guess,
in who you know. If you want to go for a ride, I was going to go up and down here, but it's completely up to you if you want to sit and relax a little bit.
No,
so.
I'm waiting for a guy, but this looks good.
Yeah,
so.
It's good to have friends at Carlisle.
That's
I'll just
right.
leave it at that. So, all right, good. So, Corvette blogger, guys, I mean, you know, I tout them all the time on my channel. I'm not a breaking news guy. That's your breaking news guy who you want to talk to.
That.
So,
But Zipity's got a great channel. Watch him. Of course, he's doing the Caravan in a couple years. Got that going on. But he's got some great content. I love the Ciocca walks and the inventory there. So keep up the great work.
All right, my friend. Thank you. We'll see you at dinner tonight.
All right, sounds good.
Take care. So yeah, Keith Cornett, and you know, it's fun, all the people you see here at Corvettes of Carlisle you run into. So this is a display of 72s, and it just really, you know, I give all these guys all the credit in the world, because they're maintaining cars of this vintage. So, you know, coupes, convertibles, you know, all the different wild colors. You know, there's your green Corvette, guys. Not necessarily lime green that everybody's been asking for, but there's an orange, Ontario orange. Another blue. So again, really cool colors and so forth. And I'm going to see if I can spin around here without running anybody over. And we're going to go to the other side. And again, look at all the different clubs. You know, they're getting themselves set up here to really, you know, just kind of hang out for the weekend. And, you know, I mentioned Corvette blogger, Corvette Today podcast, Steve Garrett, he's here. So again, it's just fun running into all these folks. So again, here's the 72s, Steel City Gray. I don't know the name of that color. Another red one. Call it a dark blue. This is Ontario orange. Another green one. 454 under the hood. So here's an NCRS car. Tomorrow, you know, at some point in the video, I'm going to get over to the NCRS tent, and we'll kind of walk through that tomorrow, and hopefully get a guided tour through there. Hopefully the wind's not too bad for us here. I had some audio issues, so using the audio from the GoPro, so I may just be quiet here and put some music under and take a look at all the cars. Installation alley, you can see ACS Composites. It's got a big tent, got a bunch of cars underneath getting work done. You can hear that exhaust system in the background. Sounds like somebody got a new exhaust put on. Detailing here at the show from Adams. Got cars underneath here.
Go get him, Zipity.
Thank you. Go get it. A&A is still at it here. get a word in edgewise down here. Everybody got their new exhaust, and they're all just revving them up. It's great. So, all right, we got a C6 on there, C8, C7 up on the lift, and another C8 over here getting prepped. Pretty cool. Aerolardi Wheels is here, set up. You can see all the different wheels that they have. Here's Adams polishes. Smells good just driving by Adams. Put it in perspective on where we're at. There's your, well, just went behind the tent. That's the grandstand over there. But this is back where we were this morning for the for sale section. There's the Mershon group as far as what their cars are for sale. And then building T is up here in front of us where they've got the Pratt and Miller Corvette race cars on display. And we're gonna cruise. We're gonna cruise with building T. All the vendors are in there now. But let's take a quick little ride through, you know, call it the swap meet section. So, you know, one man's garbage is another man's trash. And, you know, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. One man's garbage is another man's gold. Some of these parts down here you just can't find in a parts catalog. And a little bit later in the day, so there is some empty spots. But again, people like to be down further here because this is where everybody comes down from the grandstands and they go that direction. So again, you want to build yourself a resto mod, here's the suspensions for it. You know, and again, all kinds of crazy parts that you can find down here. And most of the stuff's in good condition, usable. Need a motor? There's two motors there. How are you, sir? Again, all kinds of takeoff parts. And then Al Knock, as far as interiors are concerned, he's considered one of the best when it comes to interior restorations. And you can see there's a mid-year, hopefully it comes through on camera, but there's a mid-year under there getting a new interior put in their car. You know, the C5s are getting old at this point, you know, so those things can use some interior restorations. And he's got them all lined up here, ready to go into your car. More and more, you know, there's rows and rows of swap meet vendors down here. And we're probably 4 or 5 rows down from the grandstand. As the camera pan back around to the right, you can kind of see where the grandstand is off in the distance there, behind those tents. Lots of cool stuff down here in the swap meet area. And the way to do it is in a golf cart. So thank you to my friends here at Carlisle for allowing me to use the golf cart today. So this is the lifeblood of the hobby down here, guys. You know, it's the grassroots efforts. You know, these are the guys that are loading up into trailers and just hauling all their goods from wherever they call home out here to Corvettes at Carlisle. And they do this not only here, but the other Corvette shows, Bloomington Gold and some of these other ones are all around the country. So here's one in need of restoration. Looks to be a 57. For the right price, it could be yours. Now, put it in perspective, we're kind of walking back. We're driving up towards gate 3. So, local tire company here, sell you wheels and tires. Coker Tire here for the older cars. Get you your white walls if you want them. parts, carrying them home. You know. Another one here. Like I said, you can find stuff here. Get it home and get it on your car. And Building R here, this is where they do a lot of seminars, and that's kind of what goes on here at Carlisle. So, you know, they have schedules for Friday and Saturday that you can come in and listen to Paul, the Corvette mechanic. In fact, he's holding shop in there right now. You can see, check out the CorvetteMechanic.com, and you can answer questions to, you know. Here's that aforementioned NCRS tent. We'll come back and capture this on another drive-by, and we'll go through and look at each car a little bit more in depth. But it's really cool as they show the progression of the model years. And if you want, you know, stuff from Maguire's, Griot's, Liptone, Adams, you name it, there's all kinds of different polishes and ceramic coatings and waxes, and you name it, they've got it here. Friend of mine, Al Fuller, wave to the camera, Al. I got a steer though too, so Al is one of our newest members on the board of the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation. So we are thrilled to have Al as a part of that tonight. And tonight's our big night with the dinner, and we'll be sure to capture some video from the dinner tonight. But you can see it kind of made it back up to the guest services building, and we're gonna head back over to the tent, the Chip Miller tent. And more coverage to come from Corvettes at Carlisle. All right, more live coverage, or more coverage from Corvettes at Carlisle. So Zipity's Garage, we are over at the Carlisle Expo Center, which is a stone's throw from Gate 3. I'm going to turn the camera around. I don't know if you can make it out, but there's a traffic light out there, and that's Gate 3. So this is how close the Expo Center is to Gate 3. And one of the really, really cool ways to help support the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation is our Friday night dinner. And that's what we're getting ready for here. You can see we got probably roughly 300 tables set up. So next year, if you're thinking about Corvettes at Carlisle, consider coming to the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation dinner. And you can see we do a live auction as well as a Chinese auction. So we're getting ready to set up the Chinese auction where you put your tickets in the jar and the winning ticket comes out. So we got a lot of cool Corvette racing memorabilia. J.D. Orr, an unbelievable illustrator, has got a bunch of pieces as well. Corvette racing helmets signed by a bunch of, there's Harlan. I'm trying to see who else is on there, but really, really cool memorabilia stuff. Look at the Callaway on this car, another J.D. Orr. Some really cool, all kinds of neat, unique things. Lance is running around with an Adams kit here, and then there you go, there's the Adams kit. And then check out this takeoff part from the front axle off a C7 Callaway. Just a cool little piece of memorabilia, and it's signed by Lance Miller, so you know that really jacks up the price. So, and it's good at Reeves Callaway and everybody else, exactly. So we got the board members in here kind of getting the room set up, and you can see just how cool the thing is. And like I said, it's a prime rib dinner, all you can eat buffet. And you know, if you've got a Corvette club, consider getting a table, because if you book a table, the pricing goes down. But check with the registration next year to check on pricing of the event. And like I said, disc jockey, we have buffets set up in all the corners, and it's just a great way to come hang out, and you're having dinner with a lot of the dignitaries in the Corvette world. So a lot of the engineers will be here, the folks from Callaway will be here, trying to see some of the names on these reserve tables, the Martin party. So again, friends and family get together and do this. So you got the River City Corvette Club. So there's all kinds of different organizations that are out here. York County Corvette Club on this table. So it's just a great way to come out and have some fun, get a good meal, and support an unbelievable cause, the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation. Awesome live auction items. Painting by light from Jerry Kiefer. Look at all this stuff from Callaway that was donated. Beautiful prints. These were Corvette racing memorabilia worn by Dan Binks, and he's going to be here signing those tonight. Some of the really cool pictures from J.D. Orr. And then look what GM brought. All of these parts off C8s, all autographed by the engineering team. Really, really cool. Look at the Callaway sign. If you're a Callaway owner, that's going to look great in your garage. More GM parts, all signed by the GM engineering team here tonight. C8 engine covers, signed by the engineering team. I don't know what this is other than a half a tire and half a wheel, but I'm gonna guess it came off a Z06 that maybe ran the Nürburgring, maybe? Very, very cool stuff here tonight. So again, like I said, if you're coming to Corvettes of Carlisle next year, please consider coming to the Friday night dinner for the Chip Miller Amyloidosis Foundation, where you get to break bread with Lance Miller, the entire board of the Chip Miller Foundation, as well as a lot of the GM engineers and a lot of other Corvette dignitaries. So more to come from Corvettes at Carlisle.